Welcome to Geotechnical Engineering 1 online lecture series. In this we'll be discussing about a frequently asked university numerical question based on direct shear test. So the numerical question is, in a direct shear test conducted on a dense sand, the sample fails at a shear stress of 75 kN per meter square and normal stress of 100 kN per meter square. Draw the Mohr circle for the failure condition and determine A. The angle of shearing resistance, which is phi. B. Orientation of the major and minor principal planes, which means you have to determine what is the orientation or what are the angles made by your major plane sigma 1 and minor plane sigma 3 and the stress acting on them. So you have to determine the magnitude of sigma 1 and sigma 3 also. C. Orientation of the plane of maximum shear stress. So it was mentioned that your soil is failing at a shear stress of 75 and a normal stress of 100. So first what you do is draw two axes. Y axis is shear stress, x axis is normal stress. So normal stress and shear stress axis is drawn and your soil is failing at a shear stress of 75 and normal stress of 100. So plot that point. So this is your point. Normal stress is 100. This is 100. Normal stress is 100. Shear stress is 75. So corresponding to 75 and corresponding to 100 normal stress, you plot a point. So this is normal stress 100 and failure shear stress is 75. So locate the point. Now only one point is given and it is mentioned that it is a sandy soil. So remember, sandy soil will not have caution. C value for sandy soil will be equal to 0. Sandy soil will not have caution. C of the sandy soil will be equal to 0. So what happens? Your Mohr failure envelope will not have any y-intercept. It should pass through the origin. So this is your 175. So at this point your soil will be failing. So your Mohr failure envelope will pass through this point, and since it is a sandy soil, since it doesn't have caution, your y-intercept will be 0. So from the origin, draw a line which passes through this point. So this is your Mohr failure envelope. So this is your Mohr failure envelope. So the first part was to draw the Mohr circle. So now what you do is to draw the Mohr circle, we have discussed in class. Mohr circle will be tangential to the failure point. Mohr circle will be tangential to the failure point. So keeping that in mind, I should draw a circle which is tangential to this point. I should draw a circle which is tangential to this point. So how do I draw that? What I do is, I draw a perpendicular line from this point to one point in your x-axis. So this is my perpendicular line. This is my perpendicular line. So I draw a perpendicular line from 175 point to this x-axis. So I have a perpendicular line. My aim is actually what? I need to draw a circle which is tangential to this point. So I know when you want to draw a tangential circle, radius will always be perpendicular to your tangent. So radius is perpendicular to your tangent. So draw a perpendicular line from this point such that it hits your x-axis. Now keeping this as radius, draw the Mohr circle. So with this as radius, draw your Mohr circle. So first part is over. I have drawn my Mohr circle. Now I need to determine what is the principal stresses. So the points where your Mohr circle hits the x-axis is your principal stress. So this is your major principal stress and this is your minor principal stress. So measure the values along your x-axis. So this is your major principal stress sigma 1, this is your minor principal stress which is your sigma 3. Now you have to determine what is the inclination of your major principal stress and minor principal stress. So how to determine the or basically the planes of inclination of your stresses. So for that, what you do is you have to locate the pole. So location of the pole is important. So what you do is from this 175 point, draw a horizontal line. You know, we have done questions in class, we have located pole. So how do you locate pole is, you remember in direct shear test, your failure surface is always horizontal. Direct shear test, your failure surface is always horizontal. So from the failure point, draw a horizontal line to hit your Mohr circle at the other end. So from the failure point, draw a horizontal line to hit your Mohr circle at another end. And this point is actually your pole of your circle. So this is actually the pole. This point is actually pole. And from the pole, draw a line to sigma 1. Measure this angle. So this is the angle of inclination of the major principal stress. And from the pole, again join to sigma 3. So from sigma 3 join to pole and measure this angle. This is your orientation of the minor principal stress. So we have determined what is the value of major principal stress, value of minor principal stress. Locate your pole by drawing a horizontal line from 175, and then from sigma 1 join to this point, from sigma 3 join to this point, measure the angle of inclination of these two lines. This is the orientation of major principal plane, this is the orientation of minor principal plane. Now we have to determine what is the maximum shear stress. So maximum shear stress is nothing but the radius of your Mohr circle. So from the center of the Mohr circle, you can draw a perpendicular line so that it hits the apex point of your Mohr circle. So this radius of the Mohr circle is nothing but your maximum shear stress. Now I need to determine the orientation of maximum shear stress also. So what you do is, from this point you draw a line to the pole. So pole and this point you connect it using a line. You measure what is this angle, and this is actually your orientation of your maximum shear stress. So this point is your pole. So this is how you do the question. So I repeat once again. There it is mentioned that your failure condition is at 75 shear strength, 100 normal stress. So plot this point. Your test is done on a sand, which means C value is 0. So from the origin through the point, draw a line. Now we have to plot the Mohr failure envelope. So for plotting Mohr failure envelope, from this point draw a perpendicular line to your x-axis. With this as radius, draw a Mohr circle, semicircle, and the points where it hits the x-axis. This point is your major principal stress, this is minor principal stress. Now from this center, if you draw a perpendicular line to the top of your Mohr circle, this is your maximum shear stress. Now we have to determine the orientation of all these 3 points. So what you do is, you draw lines from all these 3 points to the pole of your circle. Now how to locate the pole? Pole is located by drawing a horizontal line from the failure point. Draw a horizontal line, it will hit your Mohr circle. From this point you can draw inclined lines to all sigma 1, sigma 3 and 2 max. Measure the angle of inclinations. This will give you the orientation of your corresponding planes of stresses. Now, if in the question it was mentioned, determine the angle of internal friction. Determine the angle of internal friction, which is represented by phi. What will be the angle of internal friction? This angle, this inclination of this line. Your inclined line's inclination will give you the angle of internal friction. So in this question, it is not mentioned. I'll modify the question. So when you're doing it as assignment, submit, you have to report the value of angle of internal friction also. Angle of internal friction is nothing but
this angle, this inclination is your angle of internal friction. C value is 0, phi value you report, and one basic thing which you have to take care when you're plotting Mohr circle is, I've mentioned it several times in class, I'm repeating it once again, the scale which you take on x-axis should be same as the scale which you take on y-axis. That is, if 1 centimeter is representing 10 kilonewton per meter square in the x-axis, then 1 centimeter should represent 10 kilonewton per meter square in the y-axis also. So I repeat students once again, whatever scale you take on the x-axis should be similarly adopted in y-axis. 1 centimeter is 10 kilonewton per meter square. If that is being adopted in the x-axis, same should be adopted in the y-axis also. So do this question, submit it, upload it in Google Classroom. This is your first assignment. And the last date of submission is 21st. So submit your entries before 9 p.m. on 21st March. So the last final time of submission is 21st March 9 p.m. Thank you, students. So if you have any doubts, you can text me in WhatsApp or whatever. You can mail it to me or anything can be done. Thank you, students.